Wow, it's Doughboys Double. I'm Tiger Weiger along with the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell. Mitch back in the studio for our first record since the Munch Madness 10 finale. How about that?
Oh my God.
It's been like a couple week break. How long were we on hiatus?
Almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks, yeah.
Was it 2 weeks?
Well, the
we
finale
took a
was
week
a
off.
Wednesday. We didn't record last week, and today's a Tuesday. So
yeah, you're
almost.
right. Yeah.
I mean, we took a week off.
We took a week off, but I mean, it's been like 2 weeks since we've all been together. That's all I was saying, Mitch.
Jesus.
Jemmy was squeaking up a storm when we all walked in.
Jemmy was so excited when I said we were coming to the studio today. She got like all wiggly and dancy. It was really cute.
We're back.
I
punched in. Oh, that's what it feels like.
Back in the podcast minds, making content.
Ripping ourselves.
I brought this up in part, Mitch, because the Munch Madness always taxing on our bodies,
yes.
on our constitutions. You got sick afterwards. I'm glad you're on the other side of.
Yeah.
I was just in such bad shape. I'm doing partly because we ate so bad, but then also we had, including the finale, but we had a few nights of really hard drinking in March.
Yeah,
because we went out for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
finale we got hammered off of Headgum's booze stash, and then we
I did not get hammered.
Mitch went home and went to bed.
That's true. You did go to bed. And then we, you and me and Dutz and Kelsey went out and saw The Thing, and then we went to
Tom Bergen's.
We went to Tom Bergen's afterwards, and we tied one on. I just don't drink
Jimmy
like that
Otto's
anymore.
Favorite bar, Gold Jimmy Otto.
They got a Clover for Yato of UCB.
Jimmy Otto, a tech booth guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a master. He's always so good. Yeah.
They get a separate Clover for Watto there. It's weird.
Is what I thought you said. It's like, friend of the bar, Watto?
I'm doing a dry April. This will be day 7 of me. I like doing those resets, and it's crazy how much better I feel. Because the hangover effect as you get older is not a day, it's 72 hours.
Yes. And also it just can just affect you I mean that's probably why
it lingers
I was sick.
for so long.
Yeah, your tiger was looking a little chunky on your thigh.
I call that arid April, by the way.
Oh, I like
Arid
arid April. Wait, are
April.
you doing it too?
I did it last year.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not going to do it this year, but
I
arid
like
April.
that. Arid
Yeah.
April.
Mhm.
Arid April.
Arid April.
Got to dry it out before we go on tour, right?
I guess so.
Sounds like kind of like an SNL type character, Arid April. I'm dry.
You guys are going to a water park? No thanks.
Our guest today, returning to the show, our good friend from Twisted Metal and Scott hasn't seen, Shaun Diston is here. Hi, Diston.
Guys, it's so great to
What a
see
treat.
you. It's
Excited
so
to
great
have
to
you back.
see you.
You're doing a little clap?
I gave him a little clap.
I got
nice.
a little clap,
He's Twisted Metal Man. Come on.
but I got to say, I'm looking over at Emma. Emma,
Mm-hmm.
hit it.
Oh my God.
That's right, everyone. Back to everyone's favorite segment. On the day Doughboys dropped, all the fans gather round and listen with wonder of the laughs that they found. But I'm here to stand up and make one thing known. Cause just like Zach Cherry, I got a bone. I got a bone. Bone. I got a bone to pick. I got a bone. All right, you can cut it.
Now we do get
Wow.
So I have a bone. First things first, I brought some treats,
Wow.
and one of those treats is an actual bone. It is a
my
dog
goodness.
treat
Oh my God.
that I
Perk
bought
up.
for Jemmy. That's for
Oh,
Jemmy.
for Jemmy.
It has, yeah. I will say they did say a human can eat it, but do not eat it. This is from Clark Street Bakery, and I
Wow.
have some Clark Street baked goods in that bag, so we
I
can break
love
those out
Clark
at some
Street.
point.
Her attention, when you said bone,
Yeah.
she responded to it.
Yeah, it's a great segment. I can argue with you guys, and I can also feed the sweet dog that's sitting next to me. Give it a little lick.
She gave it a few.
No,
She
that's
gave it a
sweet.
few licks.
Okay, well, she'll get to it on her own time. But I do have a bone. All right, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Nick,
Phew.
I love you. I love you. I love the show. You have taken on in the last couple years saying the phrase "some bitch," and it's fine. It's totally fine. It just does remind me of I'm like, is this a character? So what I will ask is, if you are going to say "some bitch," I need you to do the Rock's eyebrow to the camera. I mean, you don't have to do it, but I think it would be easier for the listener and for the viewer if you did the look.
Okay, I'll do my best. So if I was like, let's taste this some bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just give it.
That's pretty good.
I think that will maybe settle us in a little bit. Oh, so that's great.
So that's like a guy now.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's
got
great.
it. Perfect.
Okay, now
That's a guy now?
That's
Yeah,
a guy.
that's like a guy.
It's
Okay,
one of his
alright.
guys.
It's not me saying some bitch as me. It's me saying some bitch,
Some
as,
bitch as a guy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Got
who
it,
likes to do the eyebrow.
Got it.
Now I look to my left to my friend Mitch.
Jemmy? Oh, me.
No, I've already given Jemmy her bone.
Yeah.
Mitch, I wanted to say black people time, ? More like dough people time.
Oh, wait, what?
Now, the way I've laid this out is probably very scary to you. I'm not saying that Mitch says black people time, but I will say that there is a stereotype that black people seem to be late to things. Today, things started a little bit late, and I have to say, before I even knew that there was a delay, I preemptively moved the thing I had after this podcast because I thought, there's no way we're starting at noon. There's absolutely no way. You said your plumber came late. I think that is probably code for I am still taking a shit from this morning. You don't have to say anything about it, but that's totally fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I have a bone. Just tell me, if you tell me noon, I will be here at 12:30 and I will expect that to be on time.
The truth is, my plumber really did come late today. And at least I was prepared.
Yeah.
I told you, I woke up at 7:15 today.
Did your plumber pull up on a little go-kart and say, "Let's go"?
I wish.
That would have been fun.
Yeah,
I would be okay if you were late.
It would have been fun. The unfortunate reality is that his plumber was arid April. I don't want to get wet.
What's inside those pipes? Okay, now this one's directed to you two. I'm a fan of the pod. I'm pissed because I think Amelia came onto the scene. We got a lot of good Amelia content.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like in the waning weeks, even though we had the Cumclave, I need more Amelia content, guys. I need to learn more about the family and the lore. Mitch is saying no. I think we got to break off another pod on the feed that's just an Amelia update. I want Amelia to get on mic for 20 minutes. Just give us a little bit more. And I'm not directing that towards Amelia. I'm directing that towards the powers that be. More Amelia content.
I have suggested it in private. I guess I will say it in public. I think Amelia, you could have your own podcast if you want. And we'd be happy.
I
to
disagree. Actually,
I also I think it's too kind. It's too kind to say.
I
don't think people would want. Like, who cares?
Okay, you
That's
think
what I
that?
think.
Who cares? People listen to this shit.
Here's the thing. I'm looking at 3 people that if we're hosting a podcast together, I think could double the numbers of Doughboys.
you're saying that side of the table?
I'm saying that side of the table. They've become, it's almost like Howard Stern's freak, whatever they were called, the Whack Pack.
Yeah.
If they had their own podcast, could you imagine? It'd be incredible. Well, maybe it'd be bad.
I think we could do some sort of producer's takeover
Let's
at some point.
figure it
That would
out.
be a fun one-off.
I've
is
heard tell
fuming.
of a behind the scenes Doughboys.
You want to hear?
I said Mitch is fuming.
No, I'm not.
I think if you do a podcast with the producers, I think it could be okay. I think it could be okay for Mitch to like listen to it and then chime in. Like you'll be listening for 20 minutes, then it'll cut to Mitch and be like, "All right, here's why I'm pissed about that last 20 minutes." So we still get some Mitch in there. And then my final bone, and it is related to our topic today. I, in the past, have purchased an audiobook for the 2 people sitting next to me.
Oh man,
no.
yeah, no, this
Because
is
we
deserved.
talked about Star Wars, and I said, I want you to just get into this audiobook. I'll give it to you. It's free. Listen to it, maybe on a walk or something.
Yeah, I'm opening up my Audible.
I feel like it has not been touched or even remembered by either of you.
Like
My issue
fair.
isn't
Noted.
with you; it's with book
Books.
culture.
No, I know. I still think we're in the one book challenge territory, but
I wrote a horny orc novel.
Yes, that was for another podcast.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I just want to say the book is still in your audiobook library, even if you don't have it. Just give it a little listen.
I watched a much better version of a Star Wars audiobook. I watched it with moving picture attached to the word.
Is that right?
Here we go. Star Wars Light of the Jedi.
Yes.
I am downloading the Audible book right now.
Give it a little look.
Because I'll be in a Star Wars mood with Andor Season 2 happening, which is partly the impetus for today's episode. Great, I need my 2 factor for this for some fucking reason.
I think give it a listen. It's not really a bone. I'm not forcing you guys to read this.
No, I think I would enjoy the
you
book.
That you have it,
and it was a very kind gesture. You getting it for us. So here we go. Downloading now.
Okay, I can take my sunglasses off. I'm
Wax
done
has
with
a
my
hack on his Audible where all of his books are read by Jared from Subway.
Talk about Jared, April. Oh God. And you can you don't know it, you can hear it, but he has the really loose jeans on. Like, I can hear a belt fumbling around in there.
It just seems comfortable.
Well, happy to be back, and shout out to Zach Cherry for a recurring segment on the show.
Oh, he's gonna love it.
Yeah,
or maybe he's gonna sue.
He might sue, and that's fine. I got good lawyers. Come at me.
Definitely, Mitch and I are cowards, and we're always afraid of being in trouble. So when that segment comes up by Zach or you or anyone in the future, I'm sure we will both panic as we did.
Now, for the listeners,
I thought it was very helpful feedback.
For the listeners, you can signal that this is going to happen if you see sunglasses anywhere, because the sunglasses have to go on for the song.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to establish that as a rule. So if you see a guest walk in with sunglasses, I want you two to be shaking in your little boots. A bone might be coming.
I didn't know something was up, but you said to Emma, "Do I need headphones for this?" I was like, "Weird. Why would you need headphones for the podcast?" And I didn't put it together.
Yeah, me too. Also, not taking that as a clue at all.
Yeah,
not understanding.
Oh well.
Yeah. I should have never got Emma's email. It's just constantly going behind your guys' back and doing things.
Bring it on.
Can I tack onto the bad to the bone thing?
Yeah, please.
You have
you have a bone to pick with us?
Yeah,
you gotta put on
just
sunglasses.
Just one tiny one with Weiger.
Yes.
Oh wow, this is crazy.
When I started the podcast, you used to say, I'm something of a heat seeker.
Yes.
Now you say I'm a bit of a heat seeker, and it's different, and it doesn't hit the same.
Damn.
Wow.
This is, I gotta be honest, mine were kind of fun. This one might end the podcast. This is a bomb. This is true.
Look what you do when you give him a little bit of power.
I will say this. Fair. I feel like I've always vacillated between the two. I feel like since I've said this for 9 years or however long I've said I'm a bit of a heat seeker, I'm something of a heat
always
seeker.
vacillated.
I feel like I've always said one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I think Amelia's asking you to pick a lane now.
Yeah.
Pick the first lane, though.
Which you like?
I like. I'm something of a heat
I'm something of a heat seeker that you're saying should be the primary formulation.
Yeah.
Okay.
You changed to I'm a bit of a heat seeker.
But I've always said I'm a bit of a heat seeker, too.
But bit kind of implies somewhat smaller of amount.
Yeah, but
something is kind of like, it could be anywhere.
Okay.
Also, bit in the comedy world means you're going to hear something funny, which
Yes,
is not happening.
I'm a bit of a heat seeker.
I'm something of a heat seeker. I am something of a heat seeker.
I think it hits the way Amelia wants.
That hits.
Okay, great.
I saw Black Bag the other night.
What'd you think?
I liked it a lot. I just want to bring it up.
Good. Hey,
Diston, you get bagged yet?
I have not seen Black Bag. I did see Death of a Unicorn.
What'd you think?
I didn't see that yet.
So.
It was okay.
I'm seeing
It's
that
fair-
tonight.
It seems very.
Are you really?
Very A24y.
It's actually weirdly less A24 than you'd think,
Ooh, okay.
which was surprising to me. I wonder what you think, Amelia.
Casey, you get bagged?
Still haven't been bagged.
You were Grindhouse though.
I was.
We both went to Grindhouse
Oh,
the
yeah.
same day.
Same day, different shows.
Different shows. Like, did you see that I was going into the 1 p.m. one? Did you go to the later one? Is that what happened?
He was there. He backed out. He's like, I gotta go. Bye.
You know
Mitch,
what?
you know I like going to the Vista with you.
It's true. We saw the Deer Hunter together.
Oh yeah!
Mhm,
Wow!
mhm.
What an experience that would be in the theater.
Oh yeah.
I just
And then we reenacted the scene afterwards. Casey.
Sour cream gun from Taco Bell. I just rewatched this past weekend Audition. Speaking of fucking horror movies.
Oh, God.
That is a brutal watch.
I had to watch that for Scott hasn't seen.
Yeah.
And I fucking famously hate horror movies,
Yeah.
but mostly gory ones. And it's interesting because this movie is... The gore level is probably like, I don't know, 20 minutes of the movie.
It's all backloaded.
It's all backloaded.
Yeah.
There's a little hints here or there, but man, they fucking hit you with it so hard. That sound, the sound.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
Why? I don't even like thinking about that movie.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And if you think that's bad, you should try an actual audition.
But anyway, I say that in part to say that I now have a Letterboxd account. I'm somewhat back on social media. I opened a Letterboxd. I also got fired. Fired.
Saying fired and pointing at Amelia.
Perhaps a pointed Freudian slip. No, I got
bye.
I got followed by a user named Amelia's dad. Is that your dad?
No.
Okay. So there's some Doughboys sicko is LARPing as your dad on Letterboxd.
That's a fraud.
Not even in a smart way and using the name Scorpion?
Yeah,
you know Amelia's dad?
Amelia's dad, Scorpion, it can't be taken.
Diston, you on Letterboxd?
No, and I do a movie podcast, I'm like racking up movie opinions all the time, and I do think, should I do it? And then I'm like, the pressure of going back and maybe adding stuff that I don't know. I feel like maybe I won't do it.
It's annoying in many ways. It is annoying.
It is annoying. I'm having fun so far. We'll see how long it lasts. But I started on April 1st, and I just logged everything from 2025, and that's it. I'm not going back in time.
I think I would do that. I think my fear sometimes, and this is a fear with having a movie podcast,
right?
And you guys discuss movies and media all the time, is that I fear I will say something that will come back to bite me in the industry.
Yeah.
And I will say on the Scott Hasn't Seen podcast, there have been some conversations that we have left up that I'm like, oh my God, if someone heard this conversation, I could be in trouble. But,
Which ones? I'm kidding. You don't have to say what they are.
No, I'm with you. I know that feeling.
You don't want to end up. You want to go home and find the audition lady at your house.
What did you say? But obviously, like, my podcast is like tongue in cheek. I'm playing a character,
right.
So like I often am saying very hyperbolic stuff. So I hope people don't take it seriously. But yeah, I fear with Letterboxd that like someone might Google me and be like, "Oh, Letterboxd, I worked on this," and then I give something 1 star or something. I don't know.
100%.
I guess you can not give stars.
That's why I just decided I'm not doing any stars because it's not worth it. Like I don't want. I see no benefit to using the star system, and I also don't like it that much. So
I've stopped using stars. I gave like all the Disney Star Wars half stars.
Right.
Because it was fun to do. But then people did get mad at me. It was a big pain in the ass. And then I'll try to give like 5 stars. I was doing stars, but I haven't logged anything in a long while. So
speaking of movies, 2025 in film, it's the bigger releases will come in a few months. But so far, is there anything you've seen that's tickled your fancy?
Oh, I gotta.
Speaking of Soderbergh, Presence, the other one is I like quite a bit.
I gotta think about it because I'm like, I watched a ton of movies for the pod, so a lot of them are just. I'm like, I just watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly recently, and I enjoyed, and so there's a lot of stuff I liked on. So what have I seen this year? I mean, I saw Captain America. I saw
Captain America with you.
Yes, we saw Captain America.
We're next to each other.
We screamed and cheered when our friend was on screen.
That is true.
For I don't know, most of the movies to start the film. And then we ran into Stanger in the lobby on the way out.
Yeah.
Wow.
What else have I seen this year? Death of a Unicorn I thought was okay. Oh, okay, I'll talk about these movies. So one I saw last year but has released this year is called The Assessment. It's an independent movie with Elizabeth Olsen and sort of in a future world.
Okay.
And the premise is like, if you want to have a kid in this world, you have to be assessed by the government and they tell you if you can have a kid or not. Very interesting, very like, I think you might like it. It's like directed by like a music video director. It's very lyrical and choreographed.
That sounds up my alley.
And there's some really fun sort of like just Elizabeth Olsen sci-fi stuff. I thought that was really good. Then I saw another movie. I saw both these movies because a friend of mine is a producer for this production company. The other movie is called Love Me. And it is a movie with Stephen Yeun and Twilight woman.
Oh yeah. I know you're
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart. Yeah, I saw a trailer for
yeah,
this.
it's a deep future where a satellite falls in love with a buoy, and that's all I'll say. And it is, both of those movies kind of rocked me in very specific ways.
Yeah.
Independent movies, if you guys want to go see them, I'm sure one will be streaming soon. I think they're both in theaters, but both very interesting and fun movies that I saw this year.
Oh.
I want to see them.
Yeah.
Black Bag was good. Here's the deal, though.
Yeah.
Sitting in the theater, it was me and then just 2 other people. That was it. That was all that
That's
was in
not
there.
good.
Yeah,
that's
not
not good.
And they talked the entire movie. I moved up
That's so annoying.
I moved up to the front section, and I couldn't hear them as much up there. But I was just like, it's just the 3 of us. At 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, I thought that I could get away from the noise.
Yeah, that's fucking annoying.
And then on top of it, the movie started. The lights didn't go down.
Oh my God.
Brutal.
That's so
And so I was like, 10 p.m. I'm the only guy in this theater. Oh, there's 2 people here.
I gotta say,
they're talking all the time. And the lights, I asked them
They
3
never went
times.
down.
That sucks. I gotta also say with AMC, put the lights down for your trailers. Like, the trailers are
Yes.
ruined by these lights being on. I get that people are still walking in, but dim them or something. I don't know. Piss
I
me
agree.
off.
I went up and asked, and I asked the person, I was like, hey, the lights are down. Can you turn them on? Or on? Can you turn them off? And she was like, yeah, we'll do it right now. And then I left and waited 5 minutes and came back, and I was like, and I asked another person, and then the person who I had asked the first time heard me, and she's like, I just told them they're going to do it. And I was like, okay. And I went in, and it was another 10 minutes, and I went back out, and I told a different person.
I would have just left at that point. You've missed so many little parts of the movie.
That was what I watched.
even
I
in
went
the
home
movie.
and I watched. It was Black Bag. I told you I watched the first half hour again, basically.
Yeah.
And also, I seem annoying. I'm like this guy who's like, "Can you turn the lights down?" And they're like, "Who is this annoying guy?" But the lights are on.
It's a
What the fuck am I supposed
It's
to
a
do?
reasonable
Watch a movie with
request.
the
Lights on.
Yeah, I agree.
Were
I
the
turned
two?
my
can't
lights
jack
off in my
off.
house.
Yeah.
Well, if you're telling them that.
Well, then that's.
Oh yeah.
I see
That
why
might
they
be why
left
they
them on. I have a question about Black Bag.
Yes.
Why does it have to be a black bag? Just a rhetorical question.
It will
the
make
movie-
sense when you see it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Black Bag is really fun. So much of the movie, though, I feel like it's just like, why, it's in the bag, darling. Things like that.
Don't you see the bag? It's sitting over there.
No one's gonna want to see it now. It's great.
It's good, though.
It is a great movie. And I liked Presents too. A lot of this movie here so far better than
last.
Better than the last, I'd say.
It's been pretty good so far.
It's just off to a better start than last year.
The only film I actively disliked was The Monkey, which I had even Minecraft, which I didn't love. I was like, this is for kids. Like, it's whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And it's got some stuff I like in it.
Presents, Mickey 17, Black Bag.
Mickey 17, I loved.
I saw Mickey 17 and I did like it. And I saw it with some people that maybe liked it a little bit less than me, but I really enjoyed it. I love Bong's movies.
Me too.
And I think there's a little bit of current social commentary that rubs people the wrong way with that movie, but I was able to not care.
The commentary is a little, I think, broad, but it's also like, well, this is a Korean filmmaker making a movie about commenting on American politics. It's going to be a little bit broad. He's not going to have necessarily a nuanced view on it.
I think for people who haven't seen Okja,
right,
it's jarring to see that tone. But to me, I'm just like, this is the world of Bong Joon-ho's view of America.
It reminded me a lot of The Host too, which is a similar sort of so much about just structural problems.
Someone told me that Mickey
crisis.
17 was The Host, Parasite, and
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer, all of his movies mixed together.
Yeah, I can see that,
and it totally worked for me.
Very fun.
And also, it's that sort of thing of that portrayal. Sorry, I took away.
Start talking and then open a soda into the microphone.
It's like you can control when you open the soda. You interrupted yourself. That was crazy.
Imagine you in Black Bag.
It's in the bag, darling.
It's in the black bag.
I've been having fun going to the Vista a lot, which Casey could I had fun going to Grindhouse. It was a good time. But I loved Mickey 17, and I give Bong a pass on all that stuff. And that portrayal is flattering. If you look on Twitter right now, the portrayal of Americans in that
100%.
movie is flattering compared to what we really are now. We suck shit. We're pieces of shit.
It's true.
We're big pieces of shit.
Yeah,
you know
we're
what?
big pieces of shit. We know.
Put me in the Mickey 17 world.
I
Okay.
like it.
I'll do it. What do I gotta do? Fucking, be a clone? Fine.
This was
Why do you seem upset about it?
Fucking clone me. I don't even care anymore. Put me in Mickey 17.
Are you saying do you want to be in a movie spinoff of that, or do you want to be in that world?
I want to leave our current world.
Yes.
And go to space.
Yes.
Go to a nice planet.
Where the little aliens we can like
are
pet
nice.
them are nice.
Well,
yeah.
Or not nice.
Yeah.
They're cute.
They're cute.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, get me out of this world.
I think I'd thrive as a clone.
Like as the person, like not as the original, but as the clone.
As like Weiger 2. I think I'd do great.
As Weiger 2.
Yeah.
You would do
like
great.
a second version of me.
Do you
Because I
think
could manage all of the menial tasks so Weiger Prime could focus on living his life.
Do you think it would be kind of like a reverse multiplicity where like your clone would just be more human people? The more they
Smarter.
clone you, the more you're like, oh, this guy's really charming. It's the life of the party. He wants to go out tonight? That's crazy.
Since we're in the sci-fi world and we're going to be talking about sci-fi today.
Yes.
You are something of a selective eater. I am curious,
Yes.
like, do you ever mess with sci-fi food?
Can we quote you here?
Yes, quote me.
I don't fuck with subs.
I don't fuck
Yes.
with subs. I might have also said I don't fuck with bowls.
You did
Yes,
say
you
that.
did.
Which is, I gotta be honest, that's not totally true. If
Yeah.
I'm making my own bowl, I can fuck with the bowl. But
I just want to say,
yeah.
the Doughboys text thread when we get back, I don't fuck with subs, is like, what? Everyone is going crazy. Everyone is going insane on the Doughboys text thread.
Totally fair. Totally fair. And to say I don't fuck with subs, like, would you call like a meatball sub a sub? Yeah, you would, right?
Yeah.
I would, yes, yeah.
Okay, I guess I've fooled around with a sub or two.
But like a cold cut sort of like a
Yeah, it's not my vibe.
sandwich. It's not
Not
what
my
you do.
vibe.
Yeah.
Deli meat situation, not really my favorite thing.
I think that this clarification is huge
Yes,
for
yes,
me.
yes.
And I know that you didn't expect this, but I
No,
forgive you.
No, hey, you can forgive me. I'll also say, here's the unforgivable thing. I am not lactose intolerant in any way,
Yeah.
but I do not really eat cheese.
You don't
Right.
fuck with cheese.
I'll eat pizza.
We've talked about this, yeah.
I'll eat pizza every once in a while. So like subs, generally, I'm like, I bet the fun of it is slapping some cheese on there.
Yeah, some provolone,
You know,
whatever
so
you got.
generally, I'm not really fucking around with that kind
If
of
you
thing.
get a
Right.
meatball
Mm.
sub, is it just meatballs and sauce, no cheese or anything?
Great
on
question.
A little oregano in there.
That
You know
still
what?
sounds
That's
like
how,
a good
as
sandwich.
a boy, that's how I started with meatball subs. I
Yeah.
never had cheese on
Yeah,
them. It
yeah,
was just a
yeah.
meatball plain.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe as a kid I had some meatball subs with cheese in them, and just kind of there's so much sauce I'm not even registering the cheese. But yeah, I'm a bit of a selective eater.
Emma, can you check over there? Can you find out if the whale has cheese on his meatball sub?
Yeah,
I
that's a
think he
great question.
does.
Yeah.
'Cause
think
I
it's
want-
loaded with cheese.
I gotta be honest, I'll be devastated if it does have cheese, because
Yeah.
I do think of myself as a bit of a whale.
Something of a whale.
I'm something of a whale.
I think it has cheese. In my memory, it's
I'm
like
trying to find a still from the movie.
I would
to see if
imagine
can-
it would, just from the maximalist ideas of that
Right.
movie, which I still haven't seen. I only know through. I feel like there are thousands of people who only know the whale through this podcast. But yeah.
we were on. I have a fat guy text chain,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some fat guys on there,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
and we were discussing today whether we would let Brendan Fraser on. And I said, if he's in his fat suit, maybe.
Ooh.
And then one of the fat guy text chain members said, if he's eating a meatball sub, we'd let him on. And does the whale get an honorary spot on a fat guy text chain?
I think the whale does. Brendan Fraser as
Brendan
Brendan
Fraser.
Fraser is a different conversation.
Yeah.
It's tough on a text thread because you're like, okay, every time he's going to text, he's got to go put the fat suit on. It's tough. It's tough. Oh, but if he's eating a meatball sub, he could send a pic of him eating the meatball sub and then chime in.
Yeah.
So,
That's a great point. That is
I think
Subs
he'd let
hitting
him in.
today. What would we be saying in there?
He'd... I don't know.
what would he be saying in there?
I'm just curious. I don't know. I don't to text in the voice
Yeah, I
of the
think
whale.
he'd probably say the sub's hitting today. I'm something of a sub eater.
I wonder if Brendan Fraser has ever been on the Frasier spinoff.
That's
Wow.
a great Fraser on Frasier.
Fraser on Fraser.
Damn, that would be huge marketing.
Fraser on Frasier.
For them to have not done that is a huge missed opportunity.
Well, I mean, that's why they didn't get a third season.
Oh, they got canceled.
They got
Sorry to all
canceled,
my
yeah.
Fraser fans.
Oh, that sucks. Kelsey Grammer seems like a really good guy.
Don't worry, you'll get to see him in Avengers Doomsday.
See, I just did the equivalent of of starring. I just did an equivalent of starring on a Letterboxd. I don't know when the fuck Kelsey Grammer's going to say, no, that fat asshole said a mean thing about me one time. I mean, it's not going to happen ever, probably.
I like that he had a sex tape leak, and then it was like, no, he actually like made his own porno. Sex tape. He just made his own porno, but he like it was for him.
He's a fascinating guy. Yeah. I love him. We all know the him falling through the stage clip.
Yes, great clip.
It makes me love him because of the falling through the stage.
Yeah. And then there's that nude he posted of him just eating a big bowl of pasta.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you got to put him on the fat guy thread.
Yeah.
he can only be, he has to be eating pasta.
Only if he's in his Beast outfit.
I loved the casting of him as Beast. I wish it was a better movie. But I was like, oh, man.
Well, you'll get to see him again.
What do you mean you wish it was a better movie?
That was like X3? You liked X3?
He's in X. Isn't he in X2?
Is he in X2?
I believe he is. Right? I think he's in X. Yeah,
I only remember him being in Last Stand, but maybe he's in X2.
I think he might be in X1 and X2. Yeah.
I haven't rewatched those Fox X-Men in forever.
X1, X2 is a good
X2 is good
movie. I know one of your favorite directors.
Do you guys know that these Fox X-Men are coming to the new Avengers movie?
Yes, but it seems like they're going to get snapped.
You think they're going to get snapped? So you think Thanos is back?
I think Thanos is back. He's going to snap them out.
Yeah, maybe they'll die or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I can't. What's your temp on the comic book movie world?
It's tough.
I know that we saw Captain America.
We saw Captain America.
We had a fun time.
My take is I'll let myself like stuff with various levels of quality.
Sure.
And I think I've loved a lot of Marvel stuff. I think they've gotten a bit overextended.
Right.
And I think that the, stuff with Jonathan Majors, having to rewrite a whole thing because the character is gone is tough. But I'm excited. I'll go watch all this shit. I went to go watch Captain America. This shit was fun. I like watching stupid shit turn my brain off a little bit.
Yeah.
They built up the Kang dynasty, and then it went away. Is the Kang dynasty?
I think it was the Kang dynasty, and now it's Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom.
Dr. Doom,
sure.
Which is interesting. I'll go watch it. I got an open mind with all that stuff.
Did you have? Well, this was intentional here. This was an intentional Mitch move. A lot of fatigue there.
Is Marvel there a lot fatigue? MCU fatigue?
MCU fatigue.
Is there Star Wars fatigue? Is that what you're asking?
I mean,
for you, for sure.
100% there is.
I think there is absolutely Star Wars fatigue. I think they have Disney. We have seen.
Yes.
It just happened with Snow White. It was like they go to the same well over and over again. They run It's like a basketball team that's just like running the exact same play over and over again until it fails, until the defense figures out how to stop it. Right. It's the same sort of thing of like. They make Snow White. There's like, oh, hey, we have like gold here. We'll just remake one of our classic animated films as live action, and that will be $1 billion guaranteed. They did the same thing with all the MCU, and they're doing with the Star Wars series of like they have Mandalorians. Like, great, let's just make as many series as we have, and now they have Skeleton Crew that comes out. From what I've heard, is pretty good.
I really liked it.
Has zero cultural impact. Like no one watches. It's invisible because they've just been throwing too much shit at the wall.
Yeah, so. I think where and it seems like they're course correcting. It feels like they were in a like tech billionaire world of like we have to have more projects than we even know what to do with,
right?
So that we can justify being worth this amount of money. And they've seen it backfire. And apparently their TV division is becoming more of a TV division. And so they're pulling back on projects, canceling projects. Which I'm always like happy when they cancel something because I'm like, good, it didn't come out bad. So we'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, Disney and Netflix are the two big evils in our world.
You could say that. I'm going to go ahead and say to camera, Disney, let me write a Star Wars. Put me in. I'm constantly defending you against these monsters. Please.
Hey, put me in something too. I know.
No, Mitch should be in it. He should be in it for sure.
I know it's just mean.
Let me write something for you.
I mean,
I'd love to see a distant Star Wars.
I would love to see your take. Yeah. I mean, would you want to do? I mean, of course,
it's interesting because, like, look, we're working on Twisted Metal together.
Right.
I love Twisted Metal,
having a blast.
It has kind of satisfied that urge of like, I want to work on a big action comedy. So there are times where I'm like, I guess I don't need that anymore. But if something were to come up, I would obviously do it. But I love Twisted Metal. And I guess one of my bones is we're not talking about Twisted Metal enough on this pod.
Wow.
Or on, I guess, another video game podcast that someone else might.
That's true, Wags. What the fuck's the deal?
Hey, we'd love to get you both on.
Is it Apodaca?
No, but it was tough. It was tough. Now leave my guy alone. I will say, like, we were gonna do this episode during Twisted Metal month, maybe, or something.
Sure,
but then the
Twisted
strike,
Month-al.
yes, but then the strike happened.
This is what I was going to bring up, which is that we originally slated to do this episode back on July 13th, 2023.
Yes, it was either this or a clown draft.
This or a clown draft. Those are the two options.
Did we ever do the clown draft?
We never did. We could do that today.
A clown draft is pretty good. My number one pick, President Trump.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
My number
All right,
2
back.
pick, AOC.
Okay, well now I'm confused.
Hold on.
Now I'm confused.
Kidding. I like AOC.
We had Twisted Monthal, and then also the SAG-AFTRA strike. So that like WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes were hitting at roughly the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And SAG-AFTRA in particular happened and said, do not discuss or promote any current film or television. So even though we still were having you on, we were going to do pilot program Andor at that time.
And I wanted to break that rule. You know I was fighting against it.
And so we decided, hey, we can't talk about Twisted Metal. Why are we going to talk about Disney Star Wars? And we just decided not to do it. But then
actually, is it fair now that the strike is over that it was a dumb rule?
It was a dumb rule.
It was
they
dumb.
overthought it. I don't think it was I think their hearts were in the right place, but I think it was.
It was a rule for Ryan Reynolds.
Little too clever.
Basically, that he on social media will promote his projects, but then for other actors, when a thing is coming out, that's how you let the world know, and that's how you get other jobs.
They tried to make it. I agree with you. The spirit of the rule was hey, well, it was meant for stars because we don't want a movie star going on Fallon or going on TikTok to promote a movie that's in theaters now.
Yes.
But they applied it broadly to everybody because I guess you can't selectively say hey, only if you have this much money you can't promote your thing.
I mean, hey, I was a good union man.
I did not class actors.
I didn't promote it.
I appreciate you guys taking the steps to be as on the right side of it as possible. And I would say that you didn't do Twisted Monthal, but I think your audience knew Twisted Metal was coming out.
Yes,
I think it
for sure
was still enough in our audience's brain, but yeah, hopefully this year when it drops, we're not in some situation where we can't talk about it.
Can you talk about any? I mean, this because this is the thing when we had you on in Toronto.
Yes.
There wasn't a lot you could say. I'm not sure if there's any more you can say at this point. Probably not, right?
No.
It'll be coming out at some point, hopefully in the semi-near future.
They said that there's a tournament of sorts this year.
There's stuff that has been teased from the previous season.
Yeah,
I won't spoil anything. I will just say, fans of Mitch will be very pleased with this season. This is a big character on the show. We, as the writers, like to say Mitch's character is something of the heart of the show.
Wow.
So we love writing for Mitch, and Mitch was great this whole season. And as much as he's maybe the most neurotic actor I've ever worked with, he's always worried about his good performances.
Knowing some of the actors you worked with, I think I could fucking pull my collar.
But it was you were always hitting home triples and home runs, and he's always
and then
am I going to get fired? I'm like, no. But I think people will be really happy with this season. It's bigger, it's better, it's crazier. The things I've been watching recently, I've been kind of, as a fan, kind of blown away by. So I think people will love it.
I did call Diston probably 3 times and being I sucked today.
But it was part of my job as
truth.
a producer on the show to chat with the actors, and you were
very
great.
good at it. You did a great job.
You were great.
Well, you guys did a great job. That's very kind of you to say.
A lot of working with Mitch, an extremely talented, funny guy, is reassuring Mitch because you are a guy who does not have perhaps the confidence that you could have.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's probably a good
and it's
thing.
not it's not like a only Mitch problem. There are many actors with this issue, and I will say
only
one thing:
Mitch gives me an idea.
as a writer, as a writer on Twisted Metal, we will be writing constantly different characters coming in and out. And I will continue to bring up in the writer's room, I think it'd be pretty funny if Nick Weiger was this character. So look, in the future, would it be funny to get a little Nick Weiger cameo in there? Maybe.
Can I give a tease?
Yeah.
I think that I can say this. There is kind of a reference to you in this season.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is kind of a reference to you in the season.
Yes.
That's all I'll say.
Okay. That's all we'll say.
That's all we'll say.
But I hopefully when the show is coming out, I think this summer,
He's very interested in knowing.
I want you guys to like get some of these actors on. I'm so glad you guys had Jono on, and
I know.
The best.
There's some great actors.
We'll get everybody
get
on.
Sailor on. Tiana on. There's some great actors. Yeah. Anyways,
I love it.
Yeah, we could do. I mean, there's so many great guests.
Yeah.
There's so many great actors this year.
Yes.
Is that I just am like, I don't even. We would have to do 3 months of Twisted Month, which maybe we will.
We'll figure it all out. So season 2 is out of Andor. Speaking of streaming series, is out today as of this episode's release. And season 2 was actually delayed in part because of the twin strikes that I mentioned.
Yeah.
The pilot episode is titled Casa. Debuted on Disney Plus on September 21st, 2022. It was directed by Toby Haynes and written by the showrunner Tony Gilroy. Now, I guess the place to start here is, where are we all with Andor? Because I've seen the entire first season. I'm actually rewatching the first season now in anticipation of the second season. I really like the first season of the show. Natalie really liked the first season of the show. And yeah, I mean, I think it's like, it's one of those, to me, it stands apart from the other Star Wars streaming shows, which are like, hey, kind of fun and kind of light, or some of them like, that one didn't really work. But this one, I think, is like, oh, this is a really well-structured, well-executed a bit of serialized television.
Yeah, I think we're hand-holding here. I really loved it. And look, all the Star Wars stuff that comes out, the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew,
Right.
I'll watch it because to me, Star Wars is a vibe, and a lot of these things get the vibe kind of close and to varying levels of success. But I'm able to enjoy all of it.
You like just seeing droids and creatures and planets,
just hearing
biomes.
people say all these little terms, it just like is comforting to me.
Right.
And you know, I have a different opinion on the sequel series than a lot of people, but I also understand that it's divisive. So
wait. So where are you? Do you like you like 7? You like 8? You like 9? I know you like 8.
I like 7, 8, and I like 9 up until a certain reveal.
What is it? I think we can spoil it at this point.
9 feels I really don't like 8, of course, and I don't like 7.
Yeah.
But 9, of course, feels the messiest, and I like it the most just because I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I liked 9 until they revealed who her grandfather was.
Yeah, that
the
fucking drove
Palpatine
me
stuff
crazy.
kind of drove me crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I get the panic pivot and all that stuff. Like, if 7 was less divisive, or if 8 was less divisive, I bet it would be different in 9. But what I really liked was when I thought Chewie died. And I'm not a person who wants to. I guess I am. I am a person who famously, I famously am in writers' rooms like begging to kill characters because I think it makes shows better.
Yeah, it might have happened with the so-called stew in season 1.
Let's just say there was some arguments about who to kill and who not to kill, and I was so bloodthirsty. But I would have been wrong to have continued to push that. But when they killed Chewie, I thought this is like the most consequential thing that's happened in Star Wars in a long time. And it would have like added some depth to what was happening in this movie. But then like literally, and it would have been better if they had just held the fact that he was alive for a few more scenes. It's literally like the next scene.
It's the next scene they reveal that he's still alive. It was such a gutless way of trying to execute that.
It's like they reveal he's still alive, and if I remember correctly, then you cut to Rey being like, "I did it. I'm so sad." Like, let her live in that sadness for a little bit. Let the audience live in the sadness, and then reveal it. We'll be so happy.
Have him come back during the Battle of Exegol. Like, oh my God, Chewie's still alive.
Back.
Wow, how about that?
God, if he came back during the Battle of Exegol, I would have gone crazy.
Man, Exegol sucks so bad.
Stupid
fucking planet.
Yeah.
We went on Star Tours and we went to Exegol, and the whole all the air went out of the theater. And I was like, no one wants to go to fucking Exegol.
The whole problem with
sucks.
Exegol was Disney was like, okay, here's how you make $1 billion movie. You have to have the same ending as Endgame.
Right.
So everyone has to show up and have some on your left moment.
I didn't even think of that. That
didn't work for me.
Here's the problem with Exegol. Logistics. Who is building all of these Star Destroyers? Where's the infrastructure for constructing this gigantic fleet that's been hidden in secret on some distant star system?
Well,
I know that it's a Sith planet, but who's building the fucking starship?
Iger 2 is going off right now.
Weiger 2, I gotta say, you gotta watch Skeleton Crew.
Oh, Skeleton Crew gets into Exegol.
I don't want to it doesn't get into Exegol.
Okay.
But there's a lot of talk
Skeleton
about...
Crew, a shipbuilding show?
I won't spoil it, but there's what Star Wars likes to do is present a lot of plot holes and
Yeah.
then fill them in with animation and smaller projects.
Sure.
Mhm.
But here's the thing. All right, we're talking about Andor. I love Andor. I think it is the adult Star Wars genre done right.
Yeah.
Did you like my pitch for Andorra, which was Anora on Andor World?
So not Pandora.
Yeah,
So
that's
not,
what I thought it was.
not
the first time.
Pandora.
So it's Anora in Andor World.
And, yeah, it called Andorra, and it would be a Twi'lek was the idea.
Yeah, Twi'lek being a Twi'lek.
Yes.
A Twi'lek dancer would be
This
Anora.
is good. And
Yeah.
then like a bunch of like Nikto like people who are like, hey, what's going on? You can't marry this. Who would she be married to?
A Gormarian maybe.
Ooh, what if she's married to a Hutt?
A Hutt's pretty
Because
good.
the Hutts
Pretty
are like
good.
the
Yeah.
criminal family you want to be afraid
That's
of.
pretty
and
good.
the Hutts and the Twi'leks already kind of have a thing.
Yeah.
And so the Hutts would be like the Russian. The Hutts
Yeah,
are like
the Hutts
Russians.
would be like, we
Yeah.
got to annul this marriage, this space marriage.
This is pretty damn good.
Pretty good.
Andor season 2. I know you haven't dropped as of this record, but you have a couple of weeks. But anyways,
If they were still making college humor videos,
that would
yeah.
have for sure.
You'd each have just earned $150.
Yeah, but I love Andor. I think that it has its place in Star Wars, and I hope that they can continue to build off of the adult shit. And what I like about it is the magical tone of the like lightsabers and the Force, all of that. When you're like in the rebellion on the ground, you don't have lightsabers and shit. So
Right.
it's just a messier, dirtier thing, and it just feels more adult even to talk about. So I love Andor.
I agree.
I had never seen the full show.
Yes.
You told me, you said, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Watch the first 3 episodes.
Yes. And this is something we can talk about as far as a pilot, but I did text Mitch, it would be helpful if you watched the first 3 episodes.
Did I fail that? Yes. I did watch the
Great.
pilot, of course.
Great.
And then when I was looking, I had watched the first 2 episodes.
Got it.
I think I found episode 2 boring and I clocked out.
Right.
I am going to watch 2 and 3. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll do an update of my thoughts on 2 and 3 after that. So for me, my favorite of the Disney Star Wars is Rogue One.
Yes, I love Rogue One.
Rogue One, and it's the same crew behind this show, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so I'm like, great. Rogue One to me is like not a lot of stake, and I liked the choices that they made, choices they made in that movie. And I saw it with Jack Allison, and Jack enjoyed it when we saw it. I don't know how he feels now.
Sure.
But I enjoyed that movie, and I'm like, the crew doing that can handle. And watching the pilot last night, I was like, yeah, this is so much better than the other Star Wars stuff I've seen.
I gotta ask you, when you constantly say I saw this movie with Jack Allison, is that code for you were jerking off in the theater? Because you often like or dislike movies based. I'm like, what's going on
Gotta
here?
keep the fucking lights up. Jack and I went to like an early premiere. Like we went to a screen. We went to the what's the little theater there on
Tiki Theater?
Well, there it wouldn't be an issue.
Lights are always on.
The theater there, the
Los Feliz 3?
No, not it's not even little. I'm sorry. The ABC theater, the one next to Kimmel.
I
The
know what you
Chinese
mean. Yeah.
man's Chinese.
Yeah.
Not
Or the Dolby.
The one that's
The
the
Egyptian?
Kodak.
not the Kodak.
Okay, who cares? You saw it at
Grauman's
the
Egyptian Theater?
El Capitan.
The El Capitan.
Okay,
Thank
all right.
El
God.
Capitan. Yeah, that's
We're
a Disney
okay.
theater.
We're okay.
Yeah.
I went to that's the Disney. That's
Yeah.
Disney owns that
Yeah.
theater,
Yes.
or ABC Disney owns that theater.
I saw Spirited Away there back in the day.
I saw Princess Mononoke 4K.
Oh, did you go recently?
I had seen it before, but I went and saw the 4K. What is it? Restoration or whatever,
What a
whatever.
favorite movie.
I don't know if it's still in theaters, but I missed that. I was pissed. I should have tried to see that.
It was great.
I saw it in IMAX, so it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Did you saw it again?
Yeah.
Great.
I love it.
I've never been to there's the Egyptian. I've never been to the Egyptian on Hollywood Boulevard. I almost got into what theater is it again. El Capitan, I went with one of the Weitz brothers who wrote it. We went with him and we watched the movie, and I had a good time.
What did you like about Rogue One? Like just like the little elements, like
I think that it just was like it moved. Yeah. There was a story. Like they actually killed. Like they built up these characters. Yes. You got to know them, and they didn't have an issue killing them off. Which is spoiler
part
alert.
of my favorite part. I love killing characters.
I do like that. Can I be honest? It's kind of a black bag.
it is a little bit like a black
A little
bag.
bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it has that sort of like, you know, the kind of spy craft, and then it's just like the continuous momentum. Like it's really well paced.
It wasn't crushed on. It was funny enough. It's that sort of thing because it leads up into A New Hope or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
And but for whatever reason, it doesn't. Like it isn't crushed by the pressure of what came before, like the other, like the trilogy sequel, which felt that it's like we have to make these 3 movies.
I think
there was so much weight to that.
I think where it has the like benefit of what subject matter they're tackling is like so much Star Wars is trying to capture the like Return of the Jedi magic.
Sure.
And like it's just going to be hard to capture. And I think focusing on just the human side of the rebellion gives you like, oh, you can be in a different tone and still be in the same world and it's the same story, but you don't have to try to capture a lot of the stuff that people will be like, well, it just doesn't live up to my childhood.
Right.
Now, you love killing characters off.
Yes.
How did you feel about Admiral Akbar being killed and then not even mentioned?
Okay, my main problem with that is that it should have been the Admiral Akbar maneuver, not the Holdo maneuver.
I agree. Fully agree with this. It shouldn't have been Holdo doing it. It should have been Akbar doing it.
Imagine how satisfying that would be to have. And I bet it was at some point, and I wonder what happened, but
you know what would have been cool?
Yeah.
He radioed the people, like the Star Destroyer, and was like, it's a trap, and it's me. And then like fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm the trap.
Here's what it was. Yeah, it should have been this. It should have been Donald Gleason's character being like, "What's going on? What's going on? I think it's a." And you cut to him, and he goes, "Trap, motherfucker."
Yeah, it says motherfucker.
I think that would be
the first
great.
motherfucker in
That
Star
would
Wars.
be really good.
It's a hard R for one word.
It's Sam Jackson's voice all of a sudden. But yeah, I think
Or
it should have.
McClunky. Isn't it McClunky?
McClunky, yeah, that's what Greedo says.
That's what Greedo says. Yeah.
But I did not love that he died off screen in the way he did, but I still like the movie. What can I say?
I know you like it. I'm not gonna.
What
I'm
can I
not.
We're not here to relitigate Last Jedi.
We're not here to relitigate
No.
Last Jedi. We're not going to do that today.
We're not doing that today.
I liked Rogue One, and I enjoyed Rogue One, and it's the same people, so I was happy. I was happier watching this than even honestly Mandalorian for me. I don't even care. I like
Mandalorian's whatever. It's like Hercules the series. It's just like a little sci-fi romp, like whatever. It's
this is one of my
very
notes.
light
This
and
looks
airy.
this looks expensive.
It looks, and I think the budget was quite a bit less. So
well,
they
it is
did more with
practical
less.
sets as opposed to the volume. And I think that you can feel it immediately when the show starts. You're like, oh, there's people in the background. There's stuff happening over here.
Yes. That's the thing Natalie was saying is just like they seem to have used a lot more of their budget toward just bodies on screen, which I'm always a fan of.
Yeah.
Like I always just seeing like real people walking around as opposed to like, a lot of what they're doing, you're seeing is just like Unreal Engine vistas. So when you're looking at, Mandalorian.
Which is like, if you're going to do a little tale about a Mandalorian fighting a monster, I could deal with that. Like,
sure.
Yeah.
But I think like this dives into so much more adult stuff and is so more pressy. Like, I gotta be honest, like I watched this a couple years ago when it came out, and watching it now, I'm like, it's more like about now than ever.
Yeah, sure.
I find it to be really good. This Tony Gilroy guy, I guess what was the other thing? Michael Clayton?
Yes, Michael Clayton.
Haven't seen Michael Clayton, but this definitely makes me want to watch.
Michael Clayton.
You got to do what Scott hasn't seen on Michael Clayton.
Well, the problem is Scott might have seen it.
It's a little bit of a black bag. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Is that? I mean, you can do a Sprague hasn't seen.
It's Sprague, but I could.
I've done the show 4 times.
I do think that both of you do consistently say Sprague, but I'm fine with it.
I think I have also said Sprague.
Hey, I've heard much crazier, but
Sprague hasn't seen has a nice ring to
fun.
it. Yeah.
It sounds like I'm a Battletoad or something. But yeah, though here's the thing. So you said you watched the first episode and kind of dropped off in the second episode.
Mm-hmm.
My only criticism with this show is that it is a TV show and that there are episodes that feel like they're just ending.
Yeah.
Randomly.
It is not. It has a kind of ponderous pace to it at times. And I think that even that's true of the pilot of like the ending of the pilot is like kind of like, oh, okay, I guess we're just done with that,
Yeah.
which we'll get into. But I think overall, like holistically viewing it as a whole season, it's a really well constructed bit of television. And I'll also just going back to Rogue One. I really liked Rogue One in terms of like how it was constructed, but my main issue with it is something that's not present in Andor, which is the use of the CG Leia and then the CG Grand Moff Tarkin, which I thought were both like just cast actors and just like, or just don't have these characters.
Yeah, just don't do that.
It was just a really strange approach.
I guess I didn't mind the Tarkin stuff as much, but the Leia stuff, it's so jarring.
Yeah,
I'm opposite. With the Leia thing at the end, I'm like, whatever. It's the last.
But Tarkin's like in a bunch of scenes, I guess.
Tarkin's
like, in so much.
He looks like shit.
And they're showing him in full light, and they're like, they're trying to show off the effect, and it doesn't really work. It's not really convincing. It looks like a video game cutscene, but it's also like, why are we doing this? Like, why can't you just cast somebody?
I also think that it has the best Vader scene.
I do like the
Vader scene is great, which is a reshoot, by the way. But
do you mean the lava scene, or do you mean the part where he fucks everyone up?
When he fucks everyone up is a reshoot.
Oh yeah, I love that scene.
Yeah,
but I just want to say to more why I like that movie is it just with the trilogy, the new trilogy. It just seemed like there wasn't, and this movie's just like we had a plan and we did the plan, and with the trilogy sequel, it's like we don't really know what it's changing as it goes, and with this movie, it just
a complete story.
There's a story and a script, and it is what it is.
And I do feel that way about Andor as well. It is here's a question: how do y'all feel about lava?
Great question. I think it's very. I don't want to touch it or be around it.
I was gonna say honestly, too hot for my taste.
It's way too hot.
Yeah,
but I think when you think about the end of the prequels, that lava battle is pretty cool.
Oh, it's great.
Mustafar, like the idea of a lava planet is really cool, and I like just seeing lava.
And the idea
anything about lava, I'm in.
Of like burning your body, like half your body with lava, and then being like, you know what? I'm gonna have my headquarters be at the lava place. I think is like a fun bad guy thing.
Gave him his identity.
Yeah.
The thing with lava is it's liquid, but it's fire. You know. What the hell?
Damn. Okay, I haven't even thought about that. It is liquid and
it's
fire.
liquid, but it's
liquid
fire.
And fire.
That's fucking wild.
It's crazy.
You might have just broken my brain. I don't even know. Is there anything else that can be like it's liquid and it's fire?
Not really.
I mean, I guess isn't plasma both like a liquid and a gas? You know, but but lava is its own thing.
Yeah,
lava it moves around. You know, it's moving around. It's fire. You know what I mean?
You know what I like about lava? When Mario burns his butt and goes, Yahoo!
That happened
really good.
with my plumber today.
You dropped a lava lamp on the ground.
He said he was in between races, like because it's it's Mario Kart World.
Yeah, sure.
So he was like he came to my house before. I think he went off to another race after.
I'm going to the beach.
Going to Koopa Beach?
I'm going to do the shortcut where I jump through the mountain. Let's go.
Switch to excitement at all or no?
I'm not a Nintendo guy, but I am like I'm not.
You don't fuck with Nintendo?
No. Sorry.
Just jaw dropped.
I love Nintendo. I just don't own one. I've only ever played like friends' Nintendos. I'm a PlayStation guy.
Okay.
But I am talking to Apodaca about Switch 2 and if I should get one. I probably will.
I think especially if you never had a Switch 1, it's going to be backwards compatible. It would be worth getting.
I'm definitely going to get a Switch 2. I've just for Donkey Kong Bonanza is all that was a system seller for me. But it's just like I think that my big thing is, why has Sony and Microsoft, why have they both just ceded the portable side of the marketplace to Nintendo and to the Steam Deck? It's like that's a huge segment of gamers who want a console that they can bring on the go. Why is there not an Xbox Series Go? Why is there not a new PSP or a PlayStation Vita?
It's the main console for Nintendo. They're never
but why
that's their focus.
But why haven't they figured out like, hey, that's a thing we should do as well? We have basically we like a lot of PlayStation 5 games run on a PlayStation 4. The guts of a PlayStation 4 Pro is basically what's inside a Switch 2. Why not have a portable version of a PlayStation 4 Pro that you're running PlayStation 5 games on? It makes intuitive sense to me.
Too with the PSP.
The PSP was a competitor.
There was like Game Gear and Nintendo, or it was PSP wasn't before like Game Boy.
No, PSP wasn't one of the first, but there was a point where Sony had the PSP and the PlayStation Vita, and they were trying to compete against the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo 3DS, and then they just completely abandoned that.
I'll put you in Weiger 2 mode again, or Weiger like 27 or something. I'm excited for the Switch.
I'm excited for the Switch too.
I
might get one.
I think
why not?
Donkey Kong Bonanza is also a great title.
Great portmanteau.
I think a first day thing. Here's my thing about Andor. It starts off. This rain, all this rain is coming down. I'm like, what are we on? Camino right now?
It's very Camino coding.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What are we on Camino? Yeah.
Yeah, where are we? Camino at the start of this show here?
Well, there's a lot of bridges. That does have a Camino vibe to it. So yeah, I mean, So
Yeah,
what's your take? You're just the question?
Yeah, that's they got me asking, what are we freaking on Camino?
And then when they say they're on
Camino
Morlana 1 or whatever.
Morlana 1, yeah.
I guess right away when they do put that up, I realize that we're not on Camino.
Yeah.
But
would you have been pissed if they were on Camino?
I would like a Camino visit, but that's not for this show, like you were saying.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah, Camino would have to be, because in this era there would not have been like this much civilization on Camino. Camino was like this remote outworld.
Do you want some Camino content? I will point you in the direction of the Bad Batch.
Interesting.
This is a Disney Star Wars animated series, which I watch all of them and have like come to really enjoy some of the stuff they do. Like the Clone Wars series is like so all over the place. It's for however long it was on the air. But the last 4 episodes of the Clone Wars, I think, stand up to a lot of Star Wars movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And I think Bad Batch has a lot of good Camino stuff. If you want Camino,
Sure.
gotta watch the Bad Batch.
Did you pop when Cad Bane showed up in Boba Fett?
Yeah.
I did. I was like, we were watching that together, and then
it was a good entrance.
Cad Bane comes in, and I went, "It's Cad Bane," and Natalie just roasted me so hard for like weeks. She's I would be like, "It's Cad Bane."
I will often have these moments where I'm like, can I explain something to you, to my girlfriend, Ellie Woods? I'll be like, can I explain something to you? So I was watching Book of Boba Fett, and they've been doing this thing. They've been teasing this guy, and then this guy comes out, and he's blue. He's Cad Bane. And then I'll kind of look at her, and I'll be like, you know what? Forget it. Like, I'll know that I can just shut the fuck up. But yeah, I did pop when Cad Bane showed up.
Yeah.
Natalie mocking you for that. Oh God love her. She's the best.
Man,
I love it.
I also, because I was playing Elden Ring. Did you play Elden Ring?
I did, but I could not get good, if you will.
I reached a point in Elden Ring, like I bounced off of Elden Ring. They went back to it when the expansion came out, and it's like now one of my favorite games of all time. I loved it so much. But like you can't pause that game because it's like always like online, like it's always connected to potential other players rating you, or you assisting other players or what have you. It's just part of how it's designed. So I'm playing that game, and I'm in the midst of battle, and it's like super hard, and I'm fighting like
I'm playing that game. I'm in the midst of battle, and it's super hard.
I'm imagining he yells this to Natalie.
So
I'm in the midst of battle.
So there's a bunch of there's these flower enemies in this game. You probably imagine.
Yeah.
So like she like walks in to where I'm playing games and is like asking about like, hey, what do you want for dinner or whatever. I was like, give me 1 second. I'm fighting this flower.
God damn it.
So what?
So you are able to play video games when your partner's around.
Yeah.
I literally am so ashamed that I will not play any video game with my girlfriend around. I'll be like playing NBA 2K and I'll like hear the door opening and I'll like turn it off and I'll be like, I was playing video games. Don't worry about it.
The thing is like I have like a little office where I can record podcasts from home, and so I have my video games in there. So it's like
all
it's like
the embarrassment room.
The embarrassment room.
I need an embarrassment room.
Humiliation den.
A new thing I've started doing, which if you've talked to me in IRL, you know it's become my life now. But in the last week, I've started playing Blood on the Clock Tower.
Okay.
And it's this social deduction game, and I'm obsessed with that kind of game. Like I love Survivor and Traders and Big Brother. I started playing Blood on the Clock Tower. I'm doing it online with just like random English people. And I'm like, I have headphones on in front of my computer being like, okay, if you got a chef 1, then that means that the empath could be poisoned. And I'm saying all these things, and then I'll like leave the room and I'll go to my girlfriend. I'll be like, I just had the most exciting 2 hours of my life. And I want to explain it to you, and I've tried, and it's just so fucking embarrassing that I keep all my nerd shit to myself.
I gotta be honest, Blood on the Clock Tower sounds like a bit of a black bag.
It is a little. There is a spy character.
You could be playing they're Brits. You could be playing with some black bag folks.
Yeah.
It's possible.
So after that moment in Elden Ring, Natalie just kept roasting. She was like, "Did you beat your flower? Oh, did you win against the flower?
Oh God, this is what I
Fucking
fear. I
relentlessly
can't have my
mocking me.
girlfriend mocking.
Yeah. Anyway,
rules.
Morlana 1 is where this starts, not Camino.
Yes.
Oh,
And
freaking Camino.
So there's this whole thing, and it is a very seedy show, and it's kind of starting in the underbelly. It's like the kind of a side of Star Wars that you might see explored in like extended universe, like fiction, but you would never see in the main canon.
And I think people have been begging for like, I want to see a bounty hunters thing. Like, I want to see the seedy side of Star Wars.
So we're definitely seeing that. There's the leisure zone. There's basically a brothel he's visiting. This is Andor,
with a couple of black bag characters.
A couple of black bag characters in there.
Brits.
Oh yeah,
some Brits.
Also, there's that hostess with the crazy like wedge haircut, which I really like. Cool haircut.
I gotta say, the beginning of this show, I love the cold open because it is like, okay, we're in Star Wars. It's raining. It's like the opposite of a desert opening.
Yeah, sure.
It's raining. There's prostitutes, and Andor shoots someone in cold blood.
Yeah,
I love the beginning of this series.
I think the cold open is awesome, and I think the cold open is like the strong point, like one of the strongest points of the whole pilot.
Yeah,
he's looking for his sister. He's talking to a woman who works at the brothel. She's like, no one gives her a real name here. She disappeared. We don't know where she goes.
Yes.
He identifies himself as Canary, which is like becomes an element because that's the distant world he's from. And then, we get into this thing. And this is a thing I really like because it's a thing that's not really often explored in cinema, period. Certainly not in Star Wars. But the idea of like, so many fights in movies are, a little bit more of of an action sort of sequence. But like in real life, you don't want to get in a fight with a stranger at a bar because you might get punched and then fall down and hit your head on the floor and you're just dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that just happens. People have traumatic brain injuries from getting punched one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and that's what we see here is like he has this whole encounter with these two guards who are harassing him from this private security company.
So you like that the guy gets headbutted and dies?
I do. I like that it's like
a dirty, weird fight.
Yeah, it's depicting like a weird like nastiness of just like, and also sort of just the random things that happen if you're just getting into these sorts of rough and tumble scenarios. So sometimes someone just hits their head on the ground and they're fucking dead.
Here's my issue.
Yeah,
we're in basically an alien strip club.
Mm-hmm.
Good chance for some alien TNA.
Okay, this is
what the fuck?
There is some,
can a man see 3 titties or something?
Yeah, what the hell?
There is some criticism of this show, which I guess I understand, is that there's just not enough aliens in the show. There's a couple in the first few episodes, but then towards the middle of the series, you're like, whoa, went a few episodes without seeing any aliens.
If this show opened up with some alien titties, like Wag said,
you would have been on board.
I definitely would have been enjoying it.
Here's my thing: we see the 3 titties a lot. We never see 2 butt cracks.
Why?
Oh my god! Could you imagine? He walks in, there's this fun music playing, and then like all of a sudden 3 butt cheeks, and you're like, what's between those butt? 2 butt cracks. This would be incredible.
I love that.
2 assholes.
And then the alien sexily says, I shit twice as much.
Oh my god! You know what? Okay. Here's what I would say. Maybe they can't show that because it's Disney Plus.
Yeah,
but take us into like a bathroom and we see dual toilets. We can infer.
We can put it together. We
can know that there's double buttholes in here.
Anyway, so
there's no DNA during the whole scene. There's nothing.
It's Disney Plus. I think. Look, for a show that is on Disney Plus, to have Andor, like, this guy begs for his life when he gets the gun, and he just shoots.
He just shoots him in cold blood.
And it's kind of the way that Rogue One starts. Like, to me, it's very like a great way to introduce a show that's going to be really dark.
Mitch, so here's the thing. McDonald's just arrived. Mitch just wants to eat it.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just going to do this.
We're just going to eat it too. Yeah,
I guess McDonald's are happening.
Yeah, we're going to do the show.
So McDonald's sent us the Minecraft meal, which includes the Minecraft
This is great.
Nether sauce.
Extra content.
Wow, this is incredible.
So we can all dig into
Not
this.
to mention, I brought Clark Street treats as well. We're reviewing 2 chains and talking about Andor.
And we bought lunch.
We're kind of like the Disney executives right now, throwing everything at the wall. This episode has to be a success.
Oh, and I got my big iced tea, too. Thank you. Now I've got 3 beverages. Amelia, what I'm going to say, so we got the nether sauce. There should be 2 per pack, so I think you should take a couple over there for the producer's desk so y'all can have some nugs as well. But yeah, we should divvy this up.
I'm gonna eat some nuggets while I'm gonna have. I know I was not told I could have any nuggets, but I will be eating some nuggets.
I do like how he begs. Go on.
Big iced tea. It sounds like you pitched a good Law and Order episode.
So
like,
it's
like a detective, whatever his name is, got hit with like the growth ray or something.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Or you find out Ice T's actually like a teen boy who went to like a machine and became big. That'd be pretty good.
Oh man.
Ice-T's been a little boy the whole time.
I'm not on Twitter anymore, but when I was, I loved his Twitter account at Final Level, and he was just like, he would just always tweet. He was just such an entertaining guy because he just like, I remember once he just tweeted, it was like, was like, man, I'm so happy I can finally order off the senior menu at Denny's.
Like the half roast.
Yeah.
Oh, love iced tea.
He's great.
Yes.
So we're on. The guy begs for his life. The one detail
I'm excited to eat some of the nuggets.
When he's talking about it, and he's
We
like,
know.
and he's like,
There's a toy.
He's like, we'll go in together. We'll say it was an accident. Like he's trying to talk him into sparing his life. And Andor's just basically like, there's no scenario where this works out for me. I have to execute this guy. It's not even like he does it because he wants to. It's just because like, fuck, this is my only way out. I just got to kill this guy.
Yeah, it just like puts you in the world of spycraft and like high stakes. And I don't know. I really love the cold open.
So we have this planet Morlana one. We also have this other planet Ferrix, which is kind of our home base. Kind of a Jakku, Mitch, a junk planet.
Yeah. I thought the same thing when I saw that.
A little bit of a Jakku.
Junk going on there for sure.
There's B2 Emo, who is voiced by Dave Chapman. I think a really nice performance.
Here's the thing. I liked B2 Emo when I saw him, and it is a good performance. Yeah. But I didn't need him to talk. You know what I mean? I didn't need him to talk.
Oh, I think he's kind of a fun talker.
You wanted him to beep?
I just kind of liked him beeping.
I like him talking a little bit because I like that I think it hammers home more that he's a little bit janky. Oh, wait, which toy did you get?
Bird.
Oh, we got Birdie.
Birdie.
Wow.
You just said bird.
Boston Celtics Larry Bird.
Here, toss me that one. I want to open that one too.
B2 Emo, I'm handing Mitch the other Minecraft toy.
I'm a huge fan of the droids.
Love the droids.
I do think that I wish there was a Disney property just called Droids. And some sort of droid thing would be really cool. But I like this droid a lot. He's a little bit like a sad dog.
I mean, just take a 10-piece and a couple of sauces over there.
He's kind of like a sad dog, and
okay, great.
I like the way I just like his portrayal. Like, he feels like a fun, new kind of droid. I think he's great. And if you watch the whole series, there's some great stuff with him later on.
Yeah, I like B2 Emo a lot. I like that he's a little bit, he's got a little bit of a stammer, which I think, and I like when he gets peed on and shocks to the hounds.
Yeah.
There's also these flashbacks, which I think, Mitch, what is that?
Great question. Is it a bomb?
It looks like a bomb, but I'm not sure what it's supposed to signify.
Is it a McDonald's? Is it a drink? There's a little straw.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's supposed to be like an Orange High C bomb.
No,
or something.
I think it's a bomb. I think they mixed this up. This is from the Oppenheimer menu back in the day.
Wait, let's see what the Minecraft toys are. Actually, Emma, can you look that up when you get a second?
They look like real toys, which is nice.
Yeah, no, those are nice. When I ordered one on my own, I didn't get a toy. Anyway, so. Did
you refuse the toy, or what? Why did you not get a toy?
No, they just didn't give it to me.
They were like, we can't give this guy any toys or kid stuff. He's gonna use it in some way.
Get in there, Diston. Try a nugget.
All right, I will.
I don't. The one thing I think is kind of a weak point of both this episode and the second episode, and I think this is part of why it chugs a bit, Mitch, is I don't think the flashbacks of him and the kids are all that necessary. Like, we go to this distant planet, this forest planet. They're speaking an unsubtitled, alien language, and it's just this group of kids. The
not subtitled too is also. I was like, oh, this is really a choice.
I don't think it's a good choice.
I think it's a good choice. I'll tell you why.
You like it?
Yes. Ewoks were not subtitled.
Right.
I don't think subtitles are interesting in this world. Fucking no one really gets subtitles. The Hutts don't get subtitled. They have interpreters. And I think the way they tell the story without dialogue, I think works. And I think if you watch the first 3 episodes, while I don't think we needed the flashbacks in every episode,
right.
That little storyline does lead to something that is important for the character, I think.
Okay.
And important for the series, but it feels a little meandering. And a comparison I have for this show is it feels to me like The Wire. Like some episodes of The Wire.
It's a wire?
Yeah, because look, in the way it's constructed, some episodes of The Wire are very like, you're popping around to different characters. You're not exactly sure how things are going to fit together. And then when they start to fit together, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I was like, you should watch the first 3 episodes, because some of the stuff that has almost zero resolution in the pilot goes somewhere and it all kind of comes together in like a fun, like, explosion. And the way the show works is I think it's in threes, like each 3 episodes is an arc.
Yeah.
So when you get to the arc where things are starting to like climax for a certain story, those are some of the best episodes. There is I won't say, but there is an Andy Serkis portrayal in this series, and he's in an arc in this series that I won't spoil. And it is
We
my
get
favorite
Andy
Andy.
in this, huh?
It's my favorite Andy Serkis thing ever.
It's so fucking good. That arc is so good, and
really,
yeah, and
Yes.
Serkis just plays a human being. Mitch, is your microphone flag just fell down on its own.
I'll just kick it over there.
He doesn't play any sort of like mocap.
yeah,
like alien
this
or
is
anything.
Andy Serkis
He's
acting.
a straight up human being. He's acting his ass off. It's a great performance, and it's just
It gives me
incredibly
chills even thinking
satisfying
about. And
resolution,
there
yeah.
are multiple things like that with this show. And I even think in episode 3, there's stuff that gives me chills where I'm like, you didn't watch episode 3, but when Marva, his mom, is talking to the guys
Yes.
in the place with her and she's describing what's happening. I won't spoil it for you, Mitch, but I fucking love that scene. It's really good.
So
All right, I'm gonna. You know what? I might watch the whole season.
I think you should.
you should watch the first season of Andor. I think you'd like it.
Do you know last time I went to Vegas? Did I tell you about this? Last time
By the way, Casey's leaving. Bye, Casey.
Bye, Casey.
Bye, Casey.
Thanks for your service, buddy.
All right, I have a couple things to say
Nuggets are
here.
good.
Yeah.
No,
Last-
you're good.
Last time I went to Vegas, I think I told you this. I tried to get a room at Circus, and I actually got a room at Circus.
Yeah,
Oh,
boy.
It was
yeah.
like the Andy Circus Hotel,
Right.
Yeah.
and it was crazy.
Yeah. You had to go around saying ape, no kill ape, and
Yeah,
stuff
Right.
like
and
that.
then there was I was in the Gollum room.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The Gollum room's got to be fun though.
The Gollum Room's awesome.
Gollum room's fun.
It's dark.
it's a dark. Yeah, it's
The
wet
movie
and dark.
Precious is playing 24 hours a day.
That's the one thing. So I got that out of the way.
Yeah.
2, McDonald's is so good.
Yeah.
What do you
It's
think?
so
of,
good.
What do you think of the
Fuck.
nether sauce? Because I will say this,
I like it.
I fucking love it. It's
Another-
delicious.
Say it right.
I'm something of a heat seeker.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed the flavor.
It's spicier than I would have expected it to be
It's
from a McDonald's
it's
sauce.
at
I
some
liked
real
it.
heat. And McDonald's has a tendency, all these chain restaurants have a tendency, like, here's our spicy thing, especially one that's targeted at kids.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You'd expect to be pretty muted, but no, it's got some real burn to it.
I think it's got a little bit of sweetness, which helps.
It does. It's
And I
kind of
think that will help with kids.
Akin to like a sambal sauce, maybe.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I'm I like McDonald's.
Yeah.
I fuck with McDonald's.
Yeah, I love it.
This is a 10 out of 10 from this
Fantastic.
is
Wow.
fantastic. I
Jimmy,
love
what are you
this.
looking for?
Jimmy's begging nuggets.
Yeah, Becky, she wants a nugget.
She
She
loves
can take some
chicken
from the
nuggets.
producer's desk.
I already gave her half of one, but she can have another one.
Can she have it with a breading or to take the
I don't
breading
know
off?
that it matters either way. I usually peel the breading off because my childhood
Okay.
self liked to eat the breading off the nugget, so I like to eat the breading and then give her the chicken. But I don't know if it's necessary.
Let me see if
for
I can
her or
try
not,
this.
But
See, this is the kind of content you
I
get
hate
with
this.
a producer's podcast.
She has a bone.
This is my
People are gonna be so mad at me.
Mitch. This is my nugget that I am
Yes.
giving.
Oh,
this
let
is
the
fuck
like,
dog eat
I
the
would have
nugget.
eaten this for myself, but instead I am giving it to Jemmy.
look at her watching you peel it. She's so excited.
Okay, here we go.
No, let me ask you this.
Jimmy?
I will just eat the skin like Joey Tribbiani.
From memory, we don't have in the pilot, we don't have Skarsgård, right?
He doesn't show up
in-
till episode 2.
He's maybe my favorite character
He's
in the
awesome.
series.
Okay.
And he has a scene that is the iconic scene of this whole show
Wow.
that I think when you get to it and you see the scene, I think you're just going to be on board, Mitch. Like, I think if you can tolerate these first couple episodes,
Those Skarsgårds are everywhere.
yeah, I mean, I don't even want to look behind me right now. But I think if you can
Nosferatu.
if you can tolerate these first couple episodes, I think when you get to the stuff where it's like satisfying and like starts to happen,
Yeah.
I think you're going to be like really into it.
Did you see Nosferatu?
No. Nosferatu, no.
Wow.
Have not seen it. Like I said, I don't love seeing scary movies.
Yeah.
So I know it's probably not the scariest thing in the world,
It's
but
not super scary.
like I like Bram Stoker's Dracula, but
Yeah.
I did not watch Nosferatu.
It's more of a closer to a Bram Stoker's, I think, that
Bram
Bram
Stoker.
Bram
Stoker's.
Strokers.
Oh my god!
Bram Stoker.
Someone's going to the
Yeah,
movie.
you're
Someone
doing
wants to
it.
go to a movie with Jack Allison.
Bram Stroker.
I
You
like-
know that porn parody.
I like the glove wall. I like the wall of gloves where all the workers
I didn't get
go
what
to
it
get their
was for a
glove.
minute.
I love that.
I think it's cool.
I think the worker stuff is great,
Great.
too. I think what this episode does a good job of showing is like why there's needs to be a rebellion in the first place.
Yeah, I agree.
Like everyone is very like it's working class Star Wars, people who are not Jedis and princesses and shit.
Weiger's eating skin, by the way, not the first time, I'm sure.
Hey, I'm just glad he didn't put it on his face. But I like the depiction of these like characters and like some of his friends, and again, some of the satisfying stuff that happens in episode 3. I'm like, hell, you know, it just really gets me.
And it is. You're absolutely right that so much of it is about depicting the systemic issues that exist that lead to people.
Can I kind of say kind of a nothing of an episode though at the same time?
I agree. So because it's mostly table setting, and this is why I think when we'll talk about it as a pilot, I don't know how successful it is as a pilot of TV, as an individual episode of television.
Yes.
Which is something that Natalie, again, as a big fan of the show, also like kind of agrees with that when we were talking. Anyway, so.
Has she seen the whole show or no?
Yeah, she's seen the whole show. She's watched the whole series multiple times, and she's not even the biggest like Star Wars person.
Yeah, I've watched it maybe 3 times, and every time I'm like, let me just watch one episode. I watch the whole thing.
It's really engaging once it starts going again. We have more. We're back at Morlana 1. There's the character Pre-Mor Deputy Inspector Cyril Karn, who's played by Kyle Soller, who I really like that performance. He's a young go-getter. He's got this old cynical boss. I like that he's modded his own uniform. I like that he's so absolutist about doing the job by the books that even when other guys like, dude, these are 2 fucking idiots who got themselves in a fight they probably started. They were placed they shouldn't be. Just move on. But he's like, no, we have to investigate this as a murder. And that becomes the impetus for everything.
It's a great depiction of a bootlicker
100%.
guy who like would be okay when fascism starts.
Yes.
Like he's the kind of guy who becomes, you know,
you could say like a Weiger 17.
Like a Weiger 17, if you will. I really do like this character. And I think one thing that I think is one of the problems with Marvel and Star Wars TV shows is lack of side characters with actual development.
Right.
And I think it often leads towards like feeling a little bit empty in the world that you're watching. And this show has multiple side characters, multiple things happening.
Speaking of side characters, we're going back to Ferrix, where we meet Bix Colleen.
Yes.
Adria Arjona is
love
the actor.
Bix.
Bix
Love
is
this
great.
actor.
Bix is awesome.
She's awesome.
Bix is wait, I wrote a joke down. Let me read the setup. Bix says to Andor, your face is messed up. Andor's like, never mind, I got to sell something valuable. But Bix is like, sell something? That's not how this works. We do bundles here. And then my joke is, who is she, freaking GameStop?
I'm mad that went over so much better than my Camino one.
It's pretty good.
I guess people just thought I was serious with Camino. I need to eat more McDonald's.
Have that last nugget.
Keep doing it.
Have that last nugget, Mitch.
You didn't have any nuggets.
Mitch, I gotta have Mitch eat the nugget.
So
crazy.
I feel like you maybe don't fuck with McDonald's.
No, I already said I love McDonald's.
So he's got an Imperial NS9 Star Path unit, which is so valuable that the buyer is actually going to come to the planet, which he doesn't normally do.
See, this is the kind of vibe stuff that I like. Like, this could have been any show. It could have been like, oh, I stole a communicate. But just like naming it that specific Star Wars thing, it just like gives me the vibe of like, I don't know. It just like brings me into it in a sort of comforting way.
This is dorky, but it's almost like an improv sort of thing.
Yeah,
like, this is such a specific
that
thing
I
like it just for being so specific.
Yeah.
Tim Carlo is the other character who's Bix's like boyfriend, but he's suspicious of Andor. Anyway, there's more Karn like trying to track them down. There's Karn being an asshole to his subordinates, like just basically like you like do what I say.
Yes.
Like we got to track this guy down at all costs. I don't care how much work it is. A fun scene where Nurchi, who's I guess a kind of local degenerate of some sort, is trying to shake Andor down for money, and then he's got that big dumb alien.
This is one of those things where I'm like, I bet they added this in just to get a little more alien content.
Yeah.
But I really do like that scene. I also want to talk about the scene where he goes to his friend, is it Brazo, maybe?
Yes.
I like both big aliens, by the way. I just want to say I like the big alien there, and I like the big construction alien is fun too.
Vetch is the big dumb alien here.
Yeah, that's a little fun comedic. Like in a show that doesn't do too much comedy, there's some comedic stuff here, which I did enjoy. And it like builds up the world a little bit more of just like, he's always got these schemes going on. He's a schemer, you know? I really like the scene where he goes to his friend and he's like, look, hey, I was with you last night. Yeah. And he like is trying to get like a cover for this murder he committed the night before. And then his friend in like a fun sort of like spy movie exchange way was like, actually, here's what did happen, you piece of shit. Yeah. And it's a better story. Yeah. And you're apologizing to me right now. Like those kind of interactions, it's so smart, the writing. And the show is filled with that kind of shit. So I really like that.
I agree. I really like that scene. That scene's a little bit earlier. And yeah, you're right. The character is Brasso.
Yeah.
That's by the glove wall.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but a bunch more stuff's happening. We're seeing more kids on this distant world in the past.
A ship crashes and they're crashes. Go to it.
They're basically squatting up to look at the crashed ship. And Cat, his little sister is like too young to go look for it. They're asking about Canary males on Ferrix. Most recent census of the planet was 6 years ago. He's like, that should make it easier.
Mm-hmm.
They basically issues an APB for all Canary men on the planet, which again is just like another fascist thing of like we're just basically looking for
anyone who's from this planet
who meets this description to potentially be detained.
It's funny we talk about the flashbacks in the pilot. It's almost nothing.
Yeah,
but when you get to like what is happening on their planet, it's all thematically playing into the same ideas. And I think when you watch the series as a whole, you start to realize thematically all these random choices are all kind of around like, look, they're building the Death Star. Like this is stuff that is happening in Star Wars, but they don't beat you over the head with it. But I don't know. That's why I kind of think the flashbacks are, they're not the most interesting, but I think it still has its place.
They're functional.
Yeah.
Like they're purely kind of functional here.
That sauce is hot.
It's got some real burn to it.
You're saying to turn the air on.
No. The sauce is hot.
It's spicy.
I don't think it is as hot as you guys are thinking, but I
ate a lot of it. But
I think the more you eat, the more it compounds on itself.
Oh yeah, probably.
It's got a little bit of a lingering burn.
My nose is running here. I like as far as hot sauces from restaurants. That's
for a
hot.
fast food
Yes.
restaurant, for sure.
So it's kind of like Andor. A lingering burn, but the more you get of it, the better it hits.
Well, the person you want to hear more of as the freak has something to say.
Here we go. Let's go.
I said, your nose is like Camino right now.
Do you have any idea what Camino is?
You know what I'm having?
All right, you're rehired.
Camino's where they're cloning Nick, making Nick 7.
I want to say I love you, McDonald's. Thank you.
We love you, McDonald's.
We love you, McDonald's.
A big McDonald's salute.
I
thank you for your service. We
it's
love
the
you.
thing that Trump is the most most right about is McDonald's.
They did the most right about. They did.
Yeah, he's right about a lot. But I was staring down Jemmy. She came back from. I gave her a fry, but we were just staring at each other.
She loves McDonald's nuggies so much. She's like going feral again. I did look up the toys. You want to know what they are?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so the bird one is it just says birdie wings.
Yeah, she's got the wings, the Minecraft wings.
And then the
other
one is called soda potion.
Okay, is that what? That's it. This is the soda potion.
And
That's
then
what it
there's
is.
4 others.
Wait.
There's a Grimace egg, a zombie hamburglar, a Big Mac crystal, and a fry helmet.
A Grimace egg?
Yes.
Wait, Birdie, she flies now?
They fly now?
Birdie wings.
She flies now.
She flies now.
I guess.
Okay, the worst part about that is that fucking R2-D2 flies canonically.
I know. Oh my god. We accidentally knocked the fries on the floor.
Son of a bitch, you did that
No, I
intentionally.
didn't. That was an accident.
Wow, a non-liquid spill. It's incredible.
Jimmy's cleaning them up. It's okay.
Okay, Jeremy can have them.
You son of a bitch. You were planning that the whole fucking show.
That's right. It's a black bag, darling.
A bit of a black bag.
So,
Too many fries?
I just don't want her to eat too many.
no, she should not. And I apologize.
No, it's not your fault.
No, you should.
There's a whole thing where Bix is like, I got to run some errands. Carlo, the boyfriend, is like trying to follow her, loses the tail. I love, again, just like the subterfuge side of things.
Yes.
When she goes up there and she's like, oh, I need this part. And it's all code so that she can go and climb like one, little column in a chimney and activate one hidden transmitter so she can communicate in code with this other guy. I love all the layers
Is
of
the
that
tail
shit.
her boyfriend?
What's that?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
But they're kind of an item.
But I will say, and he's like suspicious of Andor. I will say that, and I'm sure they have this in Black Bag, a little bit of a walk chase, which I find to be something
Love
that
a walk
happens
chase.
in a lot of spy stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
Like Homeland, that show, there was every episode she was like walking and then you're losing a tail. And
Right.
So I did like that.
Sad for
one.
Sonic, but good in this scenario.
That's true. Why?
Losing a tail.
Miles Tails Prower only has one tail now? What do I call this guy?
Losing a tail is bad for Sonic. You are right.
I thought you were saying walking chase was bad for Sonic. Also bad for Sonic.
Also
Loves to
bad
run.
for Sonic. A lot of stuff
Gotta-
bad for
gotta go
Sonic in this
fast.
scenario. You know what I think?
Yeah.
The cantina that we see at the beginning, the sexy one,
Mm-hmm.
that's what the Olga's cantina should be like in Disneyland.
There should be a hornier.
Give us a horny cantina.
There should be a horny cantina for mom and dad. So then we have Pegla, who is the character who meets Andor, like one of Andor's friends, and is like, hey, you swapped the ship's logs. He's like, says to Pegla, hey, I need some help with borrowing your ship, but he's basically like, I'm done with you, get the fuck out of here.
It's again so much just table setting where I'm like, I don't know who this character is. I don't know what their backstory is, but they're just like doing it. I don't know. The thing I like about the show too is it's not all like presented to you like you're an idiot. Like it makes you watch it like it's like The Wire in a way.
It treats you like an adult.
That's
and
true.
It's also one of those things of those little magic tricks of world building where by telling you less, it makes everything feel more
bigger.
expansive.
Absolutely.
So you're like, okay, so he has some history with this guy he's asked this guy for so many favors that he's at his wit's end, and we're just seeing this, one sequence of it.
My favorite, I mean, we already mentioned it, but my favorite of that is even though you're still getting more information here, but the old Brit with the fascist guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that guy.
The old Brit is great. I hope I see more of him.
Yeah.
And he's talking about like, I'm going to this conference and whatever. My job is to keep my presentation short so they think the crime rates are down. Because this is a whole other thing. It's all about this privatized security company.
Yes.
Which is another just the whole issue with our military industrial complex is so much shit is privatized in so many of these owners corporations.
Everyone, and they're living under fascism, and everyone is like, I don't want to make any waves. Like, I don't want anyone to come look at me.
Yeah.
And I find that to be very prescient now. And also, like, that guy who's playing the old Brit is a really great, stupid character from Game of Thrones.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think a couple of Game of Thrones actors show up in this show, and as a fan of that show, I like seeing them.
Yeah. So and then we already mentioned there's the flashback ending where with Casa and his sister, Carrie is the name, and wanting to join the Too Young, and Casa's just like, I'll be back, and that's basically our kind of semi-anticlimactic ending / cliffhanger for this episode.
Now, what they have said is that for season 2, they're releasing episodes in 3s.
Oh, interesting.
So you're not going to have this problem. The people are like, I don't know, hot and cold on the idea. I like it because I think like, give me the whole story in one sitting. It's like, I'd probably be watching about an hour and a half of Star Wars and getting a whole story. I think that is good. When this released, I believe they released the first 2 at the same time or something, and it feels a bit incomplete. Like that, I understand as a pilot, it's not perfect.
The circus arc is towards I think it's like episodes 8, 9, 10 or something like that. It's towards the back end of the first season, but I mean, like that's where I think the show is like really, really clicking.
Yeah. And the finale is great too.
The finale's awesome.
And there's some other big set pieces that are exciting and like you feel actual dread, and then you see how pieces come together with these side characters as they go far apart from each other and find their way back to each other. I just think it's really good, clever writing.
I also like the pigs.
Pigs are great.
Pigs are, I mean, come on now. Of course you love the pigs.
The pigs are cool.
Come on now.
We gotta get to our rating on the pilot, but I do want to say real quick.
Yeah.
McDonald's did a very good job with this promotion. Even though it is just a sauce, the Nether Flame sauce, it actually does deliver in terms of heat.
Yeah.
And I am something of a heat seeker. And I think these toys are really good at capturing the Minecraft aesthetic.
Let's not forget the box and the packaging.
That's the other thing I was going to say. I think the package, this kind of adult Happy Meal thing that I'm holding up now for our video feed, which is like this yellow box with this kind of Minecrafty texture on the outside. But I think that feels like a unique sort of artifact.
This reminds me of like the 90s. They did a good
this is well done.
They did a good job, and also the McDonald's was hitting on top of that. The nuggets and fries, Amelia, it was just fucking good.
I will say a lot of people have said that this Minecraft movie is overperforming because it made a ton of money and it wasn't tracking to make a ton of money. And I wonder if it's just the promotion. Like I'm seeing a lot of promotion for it. People love McDonald's. You go to McDonald's, you see this thing. I might go see the movie now.
Yeah.
I like it.
Is the movie as good as this nugget?
No. But but the movie's got its fun parts.
Yeah.
That just made me think of
Jared Hess is the man.
Jared Hess.
He did my yard marker ads for Progressive. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I've heard he's a lovely man, and I think there's some Jared Hess-isms that make its way into director of Napoleon Dynamite, most famously, and Nacho Libre. There's some Jared Hess-isms that make its way into the movie, which must have been noted from like dozens and dozens of executives.
And I can't go back on Black. I love Jack Black.
I love Black.
So always bet on Black.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a bit of a black bag.
Jack Black Bag, is that anything?
Ooh, that's good.
That's something.
He's just in Black Bag, being Jack Black.
Yeah, Tenacious D just doing a song. Be fun.
He would be fun. It would be fun to have him in Black Bag.
All right,
He's fun in everything. We all like Jack.
Love
Black.
Jack Black.
Love
We got to rate our pilot. This is we do this out of airline class. So we got first class, business class, comfort plus, coach, and lavatory. And then I'll add in honor of Toronto and our current climate. I think the worst it can be is flipped on a Toronto runway.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
So that's not where you want to be.
You don't want to be flipped
You
want
want to be up in business class.
You
or
don't
first
want to
class.
be a casualty of our failing FAA system. Yeah.
I mean, I can go first. I would say
during making Twisted Metal season 2, there was a lot of flipping on Toronto runways. We were doing that through the whole summer.
A little spoiler, a little bit of flipping on a Toronto runway.
That is 100% true.
Look forward to that. I think this is a first class sci-fi TV season of sci-fi television. We'll see how the second season works. I'm optimistic about it. I think they're going to figure it out. I think as a pilot, I would actually probably put this one in Comfort Plus. I think it's well executed and it's got a few really good scenes, but it's not the sort of like watching the whole thing. It's not like, oh man, I got to see what happens next. It's more sort of like, okay, I'm sort of enjoying this tone here, and I like the pedigree of the people making this, and I think there's an overall a high quality show, but it's not necessarily something where I just like I watch this and it's like, oh, this is like the pilot of Mad Men, where it's like, or the pilot of Cheers, where it's just this is a self-contained thing that is so completely effective at conveying the series.
How would
in one
you
show.
feel if the pilot was the first 3 episodes?
I've thought about that
because I think essentially they kind of operate as a full pilot.
Yeah, I think if this was like an hour 20-minute those 3 episodes stitched together, then yes, I think that would be
maybe
a lot
cut
more.
down some of the flashbacks.
Yeah, I think that would be a much better like overall pilot. I still really like this, and Comfort Plus is a good rating, but that's where I'd land. Mitch, how about you?
By the way, there's pigs in the show, and Minecraft has pigs. There
That's
is
true.
Some sort of crossover. It made sense that we did this.
It did make Mitch. It made sense that we did this.
All right,
and
good.
we did kind of huddle over McDonald's and eat it like we were in a trough. So there's pigs all around.
I liked the Chinese food with the blue noodles.
Yeah, blue noodles.
Nice.
We didn't reference the blue noodles.
The blue
Good
noodles
world building.
Yeah.
That was fun. I do also like the seedier side of stuff. There's like also that old Brit like makes a comment about race at one point, and you're like, I've never really seen that done in a Star Wars, and it is kind of fascinating. Like you are dealing with fascists basically, and I do kind of I wonder how far they go, like how bad they showed fascists to be or whatever later on. Like if you're saying it's an adult Star Wars, I'm like interested in, and I liked the adult themes of it overall. But I agree with you, Nick, that I am like, there's a lot going on. And like, even just like, you borrowed this thing at the end of the episode. It's like, you borrowed this thing and you've done this too many times. And like, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I don't really know what it means, which is probably why you told me to watch the first 3 episodes. And
although I don't even know if they get into any explanation there. I think that might've just been like texture, but yeah.
I recognize it as it is good, and I think it's a Comfort Plus watch.
Wow.
I will watch the first 3 episodes. I'll probably watch the next 2 this week. And maybe I watch all of Andor. I don't watch any other shows on Disney Plus. And I think you will like the whole series. I will give this I'll agree with you guys. It's not a perfect pilot. If those first 3 episodes was the pilot, I think it'd be first class. I think they might be flying the plane.
Wow.
Because I think I just love the way this comes together. It's so smart, and it's also in the world of Star Wars, and those are just 2 things that I get behind.
Yeah.
Like the pilot is still Comfort Plus because you're right, it is in Star Wars. I think that the season 2 is going to be incredible based on the stories I think that they're going to be covering.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch, you haven't even seen Mon Mothma. You haven't even seen Skarsgård. I don't even think you've seen Andor's mom.
She, I don't think happens.
I have not seen Andor's mom.
These are 3 of the best characters in this season.
Yeah.
And they have incredible arcs and storylines. So I think you should watch it, Mitch. I think you would really like it. So I would say this is flying the plane if it was the first 3 episodes. But it is, the pilot is incomplete and it's annoying, but watch the first 3 episodes. Anyone who asks me about this show, I say, watch the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
You have to.
Before I even watched, I wrote down, forget Andor, give me Endor is what I wrote down on my notes. And then after watching it, that's just not true.
Wow.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love Endor.
Yeah, of course.
I do. I like that it's an adult show, which is what you were trying to hammer home to me. And I'm like, okay, it's not like and that's honestly why I didn't like that part of the show with the kids. I'm just like, I don't want to see
the
fucking
kid stuff. It doesn't. Yeah,
I don't want to see kids anymore.
You don't go back to the kid stuff. And I'll also say the thing about the show that I find the best, and I think you have the same criticism with Disney, is that like Disney is the big player in the industry, and the industry is all kind of fucked up. But to make a show about a rebellion in this nature on Disney, to me, is a bit of a rebellious act in general.
Yeah.
So I think like Gilroy able to make this show the way they made it and put it on Disney Plus is kind of, as a TV writer who tries to justify his own existence, like it is the reason why creatives sometimes can sneak in some great stuff into places that they don't always exist. So I'm not the biggest Disney shill in the world, but this is a show that exists on Disney and is as much of a critique as Disney as anything else they would make. So I really like it for that reason.
Yeah, that's like, you're right to talk about the constraint of making something within corporate media that you need to finance and platform something of this scale. And to have that sort of criticism. It also a similar thing happened recently with the Nintendo Switch game Disney Villains Cursed Cafe. There's some like kind of like subversive stuff tucked into that.
I'm gonna text Natalie. Hey, did you know about this Cursed Cafe?
Yes, I hear about it all the fucking time.
I guess Doughboys this week is the Cursed Cafe.
Diston, you got to go. You did bring us some snacks. Do we want to get into these, or should we have these for later? What's the move?
Look, why don't we get into them?
Okay, great. Let's say
these are.
Also, I just want to say,
yes,
you've justified your existence many times over.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm going to say this.
God, look at that.
You said such kind things about me about this season, and the scripts this year are out of control good, and your script is fantastic.
Thank you. I mean, obviously, all due goes to our showrunner MJ. You guys have had on the show, friend
love
of the
MJ.
pod. But yeah, the scripts are great. We had a great writing staff. Of course, you guys know Gilly. She's one of your. I would say when you said you were drinking a lot that month, I thought, yeah, you did have Gilly and Gabrus and Betsy on episodes, so it totally makes sense. But yeah, and I think with one thing to think about Star Wars in general is that I keep thinking it's becoming more and more prescient. I will point out that the prequels are about a trade war and about an evil dictator using a trade war to grab power.
Yeah.
And I have never thought more that Trump is Palpatine than now.
Man.
And I did not mean to scare everyone thinking that, but that is the fucking... I mean, George Lucas is kind of a genius because that is what those fucking movies are about.
The problem is, like, I hear what you're saying, and then I'm also like, it would be kind of cool if Trump destroyed the Senate with lightning.
I guess I
shocking the shit out of Mitch McConnell. That'd be kind of good.
I would take a few minutes to be like, God, that was cool, and then hopefully I would become Andor or something.
If we were watching and Trump just shot electricity out of his fingers,
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
He forced through Rand Paul.
Yeah.
All right.
What these are, by the way, these are Swedish cinnamon buns from Clark Street Bread. I discovered them over the pandemic. I was buying flour from them, and they have expanded. They took over the 101 Cafe.
Yes.
And I, don't love things being taken over in that way, but this place kind of slaps. And I think that these sweet treats are really, really high quality. So yeah, I just want to bring something in for the boys.
I'm going to use this knife. Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm going to use this knife to try to subdivide these.
Yeah, there's a knife somewhere.
Is there goo inside?
No, there's no goo. These are just there's cinnamon, cardamom, and the way they make them, there's a intricate lacing pattern. It's very interesting and very good.
They look cool as hell.
And I want to say thanks for having me on. I did text you guys and say we have to do the Andor episode because I don't want to be an asshole, but I want Mitch to like Star Wars. So I'm going to continue to do what I can.
And I do, of course, I love Star Wars.
But I want you
to
kind of enjoy all of it because it is, I don't know. I think that it's something in our culture that like is going to be good and bad, but it's with us. And I think it's interesting. And the good is so good.
The love-hate relationship, even with Disney, I called them one of the bad guys earlier, is huge. You know,
I'll take a little piece here. These are get some.
Is this salt on this? What is this?
I don't know what the fuck this is. I mean, it's just it could be salt, but I don't think it is. But yeah, and I thought this could be. I thought this is a good thing to bring on because this is a sort of a chain. It's new. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you guys would cover this on the pod. But I think they might get to a place where you will. They have some good stuff at the diner, and all their baked goods are just fucking fire. So
that's fantastic.
I love layers. I love when you have a pastry that's got a bunch of visible layers. If we look at a cross section,
no, this stuff is really good. It's
jammy.
And we love.
You would not like.
We love ending an episode where we have eaten a bunch of McDonald's.
Oh man!
And now we're about to end the episode. Let's just put a bunch of bread in our mouths.
And then have lunch.
We're gonna go have a lunch meeting. So
you know what I love about this is that it's not like you're right. You're getting a lot of the cinnamon, the cardamom. You're getting a lot of the spices. It's not overly sweet.
Not at all. No.
These
are the cinnamon ones. They have cardamom ones that are more cardamom forward. And those are my favorite. They just didn't have any of those.
I don't know what that stuff is that's on top that looks like salt. Porto's has this on some of their baked goods. It's like a sugary, crystally delicious.
It's not powdered sugar, but it's like powdered sugar nuggets. Yeah,
it's so good. I don't know what it is, but I need to learn how to make it.
Sorry to pull an Oliver here, but can I have some more?
Oh yeah, please. These are for you guys. Are you kidding me? I'm really happy you guys like this stuff. And Mitch, look, you don't have to read a book. I'm not forcing you to read a book. But if you do,
I'm getting into audiobooks.
If you listen to audiobooks, I think you'd like this. The guy who reads this book is also an incredible.
Oh, who said that? Yeah.
He's such a good person and like his voice is incredible. He plays a ton of characters and it's a fun book.
Well, you're a fun guest, Shaun Diston. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for bringing us treats.
Thanks
Thank you for discussing your passion for Andor with us. And congratulations on Twisted Metal to both of you. But I'm very excited for season 2.
Yeah, if people haven't seen, there's a teaser trailer out that I think I was as hype on this trailer as I've been on anything I've ever worked on. I love the trailer. There's some good reveals in it, but there's so much that people don't even fucking know. So I'm super excited for this summer, and I'm so excited for my boy Mitch. I hope you get to go to Comic-Con. I hope you get to do some promo on this.
I hope we get to. I mean, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be really, really fun.
And my mom and sister come back, and my sister faints. I know you'll be there for us.
You know I got her back. Oh, was that a Twisted Metal thing? Oh, yeah, it was.
My sister fainted at the. We saw her. She's going to hate that I'm saying this. My sister fainted at the twist, and Diston was there helping us out the entire time.
I had already seen the episode. I didn't need to watch it again, but yeah, I'm super excited for this summer. So
Same.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah,
we love you.
I'm very excited for it as well. If any of our listeners have not watched Twisted Metal Season 1, enter the end, check it out over on Peacock.
Jemmy ate some of the bone too.
I think we might have broken some off and put on the ground, but maybe she ate it.
She's weird. She likes you to break her treats for her. It's a weird thing.
She is just staring me down right now. I don't
know. She wants more nuggies.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have any more, girl.
I'll tell you this. If I ever get to write Star Wars, there will be a droid that is Jemmy. Because she has droid energy in a fun way.
She's always watching.
She's always watching. So she'll be in Star Wars at some point.
Yeah.
She knows that she knows that you're a clone, Wags.
And check out Scott Hasn't Seen with Sprague.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right.
Oh, only 4 times on the show you finally got
it. Hey, that's the end of this sumbitch.
He did it!
Yes!
Bye.
Doughboys.